Adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, everybody, it's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Jena Malone is here tonight. The United States of Leland is the name of the new movie. Well, also, you know her work from Cold Mountain, Life is a House. Donnie Darko, Stepmom, Contact. Oh, wait, who were you in Contact?
Your mama. No, I was the young Jodie Foster. Yeah. I played her as a child.
Yeah, when she'd always dreamt of space travel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd like to do it like a flashback to the person, and they weren't doing anything that was at all connected to where they were today.
That'll be the Carolla story.
Yeah, for me, like I thought it was going to be a pirate who played professional football. And it would be like I'd have a radio flashback, and it'd just be me thinking about being a pirate.
Right.
And it would come back to real time and go, well, that's why it's so bad.
In a bathtub.
Yeah.
Some hotel.
Yeah, I just, you know, it somehow they always conveniently get to the part where they're talking about astronomy at age 9.
Right.
Well, how old were you? You must have, you're 19 now, right?
I was 12 when I did that, I think.
And you were playing?
A 12-year-old, I think, 11.
Didn't tell you that?
No, they did. I don't think it was very important to the character.
It was the same age you are.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of the young child.
Yeah.
Her dad died, and she's trying to contact him.
Totally. And there's that really cool shot when she's like, everyone asked me about it, like sort of...
through the window?
Yeah, running through, coming back and pulling back for the bathroom mirror, and it goes from slow motion to sped up. And
that the movie Contact scared the bejesus out of me, not because of the content of the film, but because the beginning of the film, and you'll remember this, I'm sure, although Drew will not, was it was a shot from like outer space.
Don't remember.
All right, and it was sort of moving toward Earth, getting closer and closer and closer.
Crazy sound.
Yeah, it starts in silence.
But it starts in silence.
Yeah.
It starts in dead, dark silence. Yeah. And so what do I do? Now, it's one of my first DVDs I'm ever going to watch in my new home surround theater.
Totally.
So, and which I still can't work to this day, and it's been 9 years now. I popped the DVD in. I hit play. Well, we got video. We got video. There's no audio. I said, turn this thing up. Turn the boost up on the thing. Start punching buttons. And
then all of a sudden it kicks in.
Let me just say something that drives me goddamn nuts. The new stereos, the nice stereos, you buy a high-end stereo, it has a volume knob that never stops. It's a Brody knob. It'll just keep turning and turning and turning.
Well, it has lots of negative numbers, so it makes it very clear.
Comfortable listening at the Carolla house is negative 18. When you get up to like +3, you're blowing the windows out of the joint. And I keep screaming at the stereo guy, you can't just have it go from 1 to 10. There's got to be negative 56. What does that mean? Like I owe sound? What does negative sound mean? Like I hear my own heartbeat? That's it. I'm back in the womb. So naturally, I have no idea what any of these numbers or things mean. So being +16 or negative 28, I had this thing cranked up to like +25, which is as loud as it ever. And then all of a sudden in the movie, it's not a slow burn. It's boom. Yeah. And, stuff shaking and falling. I'm diving. It's like I scared the bejesus out of me. And yes, that was you who did that.
That wasn't me. That was Robert
blame
Zemeckis.
You.
But that's awesome.
The through the window thing is that they use one of those crazy robotic apparatuses. No, they have these things that reproduce movement. I couldn't believe this. They looked like the damn machine that they built to make the contact.
Right, totally. No,
I think
I think for that one what they used was they'd used crane shots to sort of move into something, and then they'd take that image and they digitally reproduce it on blue screen, and they'd put the blue screen like sort of around the frame of the window, and they'd put that image in that little space.
Never got to get down to the minus. I'm still on the minus. So really, minus, you understand that...
Because it actually, in a weird way, it might offer you more. Not only do you have plus channels, but you have negative channels. You can
minus is the comfortable listening. Minus about 16 is where you want it. If you get to 0, it's way too loud.
By the way, I'm not done with Contact. I am a non-sci-fi movie guy. I do not find anything appealing about them, but this was so clever and so interesting
Yeah.
It stays with me to this day.
Really? And by the way, we're talking about the man who's not seen Raging Bull.
Right.
Crazy.
Who's not seen The Shining.
Seen The Shining.
Well, who I forced him to see a sort of...
And what did you think after forced into that?
He didn't like it because he watched it at home, and it was sort of one of those arm-twisting, like finish your peas kind of movie watching experiences where he sort of watched half on and half off.
I could appreciate that somebody would like it.
Right.
I didn't like
it. But I
don't like horror films at all.
No, but the thing about The Shining is it's a 2.5, 3 hour movie, and nothing happens for the first hour and 20 minutes. So, I mean, you have to be sort of captive. You almost have to be forced to watch it. And let me say this. I was just thinking, it's unfortunate. All right, I'm going to take an axe to Drew if you don't shut that off, Anderson. It's unfortunate that people, have the choice to watch movies not in the theater these days.
Yes.
And I know it sounds like a hypocrite, but I mean, something like The Shining, great movie. If Drew had seen it in the theater, he would have really enjoyed it. There's many movies that I have seen out of the theater that I haven't been able to stay with because, they're a great film, but the phone's ringing and I get up.
Not
and come
only
back.
that, last night I went to a film where I, by the way, saw the trailer for United States of Leyland. It looked very interesting.
Awesome.
But I walked into a theater that was big, and I thought, oh my God, I've not seen a film on a big screen in 5 years.
What did you see? You saw something for the kids, right?
No, they were seeing
Spy Kids 8.
Hidalgo, and I went over and saw Lady Killers.
Oh, really?
And it was on the big room. They love lots of little rooms, these theaters now.
Yeah.
And it didn't make a difference. Anyway.
I heard it wasn't great, but go ahead.
Nah.
Well, the original, that's like Peter Sellers. Don't mess with it,
Yeah, I heard the original was good.
It's incredible.
It's you're 19. Well, you saw that movie?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Peter Sellers, so
you are?
Yeah.
Well, that's.
But I have to definitely. Sorry, but you finish, and then I'm going to contest
this
the
film
point.
looks very interesting. Your film. And
cool. Saw the trailer.
Yeah, it looks very. What is it that's so special about him? If I could, that does not come through on the trailer.
Why is he so special about Leland?
Yes. He kills somebody because of you. It's all your fault.
Mm.
But that's exactly what the film's trying not to do, is sort of give you that crisp, easy understanding of why these sort of...
But what comes through in the trailer over and over again is like, we've never seen a case like this before. This guy's extraordinary. What? This kid's got you under his grip,
is
too.
the trailer marketing, is that? That's funny.
That's what comes out multiple
what
times.
They're saying is, like, in the juvenile detention sort of system, is that there's usually a lot of gang-related people who are being inducted in there, and there's a lot of, just pretty, like, cases that we hear about all the time. And this was
the guy got busted
a
for pot 3
boy
times.
that, totally. People sort of tattle tale on other gangs and just all these sort of strange interconnected things. And and this is a boy that's sort of, it's just sort of like what happened like a year ago with all the school killings. It's like it's never expected because he's white and he's has a good family but also particularly from him, he really doesn't show a lot of emotion, and he confesses to it, and it's not like he has all of these traumatic, like, he listens to heavy metal or he wears trench coats. There's not an easy sort of out for an explanation of why he could commit this crime, and I think that's what's so interesting, and that's what makes people want to sort of investigate it more.
Well, the school killings are the domain of the white man. I want to let you know about that.
Yeah.
It's always confusing when we get our colors mixed up. Like when we found out that Sniper was black in D.C., it was like, oh, my God. I got to go back to the drawing board. I go back to the racist drawing board and get this straightened out.
You got to straighten out the guy in Ohio. He straightened it all out for you. The white guy.
Right.
So,
couldn't hit anybody.
Right. But, even the kids in Denver, it turned out to be messed up. I mean, this business about, the kids in the school, we couldn't imagine what happened. Long history of very serious stuff going on.
Totally. Absolutely.
Columbine. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I saw this movie reviewed by Siskel and Roper or whatever.
A lot of awards.
It was a year ago or something. It's all coming back to me in bits and pieces. But
the
movie's been around for a little bit, right?
I made it when I was. It's probably like I made
Just
it when I was like
Contact?
16.
Really?
So 3 years ago, and it came out on the 2003 Sundance Film Festival. That's where it premiered, and it was picked up right away. And then just just sort of trying to figure out where it fit in the format of, when people would see it. And, we're up against basically The Rock. And I think that there's, there's not a lot of people who are going to be seeing this film that would really want to see, Walking Tall.
Yeah,
and I'm not quite sure about that.
It's a different crowd, yeah.
The movie-going crowd as opposed to everybody.
Yeah. So The Rock
Right.
is, he's no Joe Don Baker, I'll tell you that right now. Remember him? Walking Tall.
Oh.
Let his 2x4 do his talking.
Nice reference.
Yeah. Lauren?
Hello?
You're 17?
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, first I wanted to say that I saw Donnie Darko over the weekend, and that is like the weirdest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anderson loves that movie.
Like, it made no sense whatsoever.
Well, give it another watching,
That's because you're retarded, Lauren.
Huh?
Wow.
That's got to be because you're a little slow.
Anderson loved that movie. I never saw it.
I probably
We were talking
am.
about that last time you were up here.
I think so,
Yes,
yeah.
I remember that.
All right. Well, listen, Lauren. She's 17 years old. She's
Right. I only
watched
watched
know
it
that
once.
much. All right. Watch it again.
Right. Okay. My question was, like, I finish a lot faster than my boyfriend, and and it's only when I'm on top. But like when he's on top, like I don't finish at all, and I was wondering why.
Yeah, you get a little more direct stimulation that way. Look, why does a massage around your neck and shoulders feel better than one around your calves and thighs? I don't know. That's what you like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Configured that way that it makes, the fact that you can orgasm during intercourse puts you way ahead of everybody else.
That she
at
can.
17.
That she
The fact
can.
that you're capable of that is
Right.
nothing short of remarkable.
At 17.
At 17, yeah.
Yeah.
And so as you get older, there may be more generalization to that. You may be able to do it with him on top, perhaps. But just the fact that you can have orgasm during intercourse puts you ahead of the pack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Kenyan out in front of some drunken Irishmen, and like way out in front, just looking over your shoulder and laughing.
But this is how amazing. Think how ridiculous we are in educating women about their bodies. That a woman that has advanced function has to think, "What's the matter with me? Why only when I'm on top? How weird."
Well,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It is, but here's the thing. I think we're sort of, and this is the scary part as far as the direction society's turned, but people aren't looking to relish whatever it is they have. They're looking for the piece that's missing. I mean, it's like some gin rummy hand. You're not excited or proud over the cards you have. There's still two or three that you're missing, and those are the ones you're looking for.
I think there's something more onerous going on, which is that we're not allowing women to really express what they actually are. They have to be something that they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And actually allowing them to speak up and share what they actually are, which is quite diverse and quite different, is somehow threatening.
Well, let me speak on Jenna's behalf. As a woman, she says...
Nice young woman here. We go let her
Right.
talk.
Well, no. I was totally, I was listening, and but I don't know what. I'm sorry. I was about to ask your name.
Lauren.
I don't know. I feel like we don't really get a chance to explore a lot of our just like sexuality until we have a partner, and then we almost feel like
Why
things
don't you?
are. Well, it's just sort of what happens. I don't know.
You're not motivated to. A male, you can't force them not to. You can't.
Totally.
You cannot create a paradigm where they won't.
Right.
They will electrocute. They will grow hair in their palms. They'll go blind. Whatever. They're still doing it. And if they don't do it, God does it for them.
Totally.
Sure.
But like if you're in a relationship and you realize that you like sort of like it better on top, and it's because also it's like you have more control over what you're doing to your body and like different rhythms that feel better for you. And I think sometimes if you can just apply that to like other sexual situations, like just sort of take from what you like, what feels good, when you're on top, then you can sort of, apply that to other things, and that might sort of help out a little bit.
All right. She's 17.
She's good.
Fine. Nadia? And she didn't much care for Darko.
No, if it's weird, it's good.
All right.
It's
Nadia?
never mind.
Hey.
What's happening?
Nothing much.
Got a question?
Yeah, I want to know if I can get eczema on my vagina.
Eczema on your vagina. You have eczema on your skin?
Yeah.
Do you have asthma?
I don't think so.
You don't have asthma. Well, because
People have
asthma, rhinitis, allergic rhinitis, and eczema kind of go together.
What's rhinitis? You got
Yes.
runny
And
nose?
I
Seasonal
don't know
nose.
any of those.
Eczema is just an allergic rash, basically.
Okay.
Blotches on your skin.
Yeah. Are you there? Nadia, listen.
Yeah.
What do you... I got to find out what she's seeing there.
Listen, I speak for all women. Go ahead and ask me.
Eczema is a skin thing. You don't really... But you can get overlap into mucosal surfaces when you have
talk
skin
to her.
syndrome.
Her phone line's bad.
Nadia, what are you seeing on the vagina?
Like bumps, and it's really like itchy and red, like I have on my arms and my neck and my legs.
Are you sexually active?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use protection like all the time with my boyfriend. So.
Condom.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? One of the things
she's
about...
also got something going on in the background, which is distracting.
All right, here's the deal. You can put her on hold now.
All right.
One of the things about being eczematous is you tend to be allergic to a lot of things called atopy. And one of the things you could easily be allergic to is latex. So using latex condoms, maybe you're having a reaction to
People
that.
Have eczema are allergic to a lot of stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so you may want to use a polyurethane condom or something. And also, since you are sexually active, somebody needs to look at what this is so they can diagnose it properly.
I can't hang with people that are allergic to stuff. I don't like them as human beings. I've said it many times.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
You know
and I know what? I never believe them. Like I was listening to a little talk radio today, and they're like, "Oh, I'm glad they they banned smoking on the beach at Santa Monica," and then someone will call in and go,
"What?"
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I know. And then I know. What about liberty, everybody? What about that one? Here's the whole thing, everybody. Just because we don't want to get into this with society, where there's 80% of the society doesn't smoke, so therefore, let's just charge. Yeah, we want to show hands. Who wants to charge $10 a pack cigarette? Oh, right here. Okay, who wants to ban it from? Okay, who wants to make it illegal from? That's not a good sign. That's not a good thing.
I totally agree.
It's a really bad sign, and it's it's an easy sell because, look, if 80% of the population doesn't do something or is not interested in something, then it's real easy to go, who thinks this 20% or 15 or whatever percent should be penalized, punished, whatever, exiled, banished. Oh, okay. Well, it's a democracy, and people have spoken. I've said this many times. I've also... all right, but the point is I get excited, but the point is whenever they do these talk shows, people always call in, and it's always that guy, and he's going, I'm allergic to smoke, and, when my neighbors smoke, I ask that they, and I just think, pussy, can't hang with this guy.
And talk show, that's wonderful. Won't this be nice for you?
Dear. And I always think, I'm sure there are people who are allergic to smoke out there. All I know is, coincidentally or not, I will hate that person. I know they're world-class pussy, and I could never hang out with them.
But it's such a big world out there, I mean, it's like, come on, how long has, just people in general been smoking? And it's such a new thing to put these bans on people, particularly in public places. And it's such a, I don't know, I think it's like the first step in a lot of things that are going to follow, which is the sort of the scariest thing for me.
Slippery slope. No, it's true. I mean, the idea that 20 years ago you couldn't smoke a cigarette on the beach, of all places, which is just one huge ashtray out front of a Vegas
Santa Monica
hotel
Beach
for me.
View.
and then number two, that you would be getting $250 fines for it, and it's always everyone always says, oh, the cigarette butts or the whatever. Well, look, that's life. I mean, you can't outlaw fast food because some people throw the garbage out into the street.
Yeah.
I know Drew had an idea for something else there, but what I'm saying is look, if there's a problem, then you find the people who throw the butts in the ash and you put more receptacles.
Is this about butts or was this about smoke exposure?
It's, they always get a little
vague.
They always get a little vague, but 200 different types of poisons in the butts of the cigarette, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you stand on that, you'll get foot cancer.
And don't worry, I see many, many, many cases of cigarette butt-related illnesses.
Yes. Secondhand smoke. People crawling in and dying in your office every day of secondhand smoke.
Well, second only to cigarette butt exposure.
First-rate killer. First-rate killer, the secondhand smoke. All right. Oh. It's just, all we're saying is cigarettes are not good for you. They're bad for you. And it's not a good thing to encourage young people to smoke. But it's a very slippery slope, I hate to say it, when we start, first off, lying, essentially, saying 55,000 people a year die of secondhand smoke. And then secondly, essentially using scare tactics and deception. And then outlawing everything because people make a choice and it could possibly hurt them.
Yes.
Really, because you really got to extend that into fast food and motorcycles.
They're trying to. Oh, yes.
I mean, you got to start stretching that into every possible thing where somebody could do some damage to themselves or someone around them. Thank you. All right, let's talk to Christina. Christina?
I have a million thoughts about what you just said.
Hello.
All right, well, hold on.
I won't
What
bore
are
people
they?
with it.
Wait.
Well, that first of all, we're becoming these are first-rate problems. We're becoming a second-rate country as a result of them.
Right.
Adjudicating them. But the basis of love, this is going to bore. It's
Go, buddy.
Go. Aristotle believed that we're supposed to create virtuous people who live a virtuous life.
That was Jackie Kennedy's husband?
Yeah, Aristotle.
Uh-huh.
A Greek man also. It's
huge glasses on that cat. Good look. I mean, not a great-looking guy, but he really pulled down some world-class tail.
I think we're getting confused of what is virtuous and what is healthy.
You got a yacht.
And what is
you got
choice.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
You wear those big Swifty Lazar glasses, you smoke the cigar, and you got that like a 200-foot
strong
yacht.
Greek nose.
Yeah, very
That's
strong.
Right.
I guess he was a handsome man in many ways. Yeah, had those Greek features.
That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, good.
What were you saying?
That's what I was saying. Good times.
Okay. Well, let's keep the show moving.
Let's do a German or Florida.
All
just to cap that.
Christina?
Hello?
You're 14. It's time to play Germany or Florida.
Yes.
Now, this
Things are sick and twisted from too much sun and Nazis. Sex with and death fetishes. Both of them have got these. Guaranteed not to bore ya. Germany or Florida.
Love that song.
That's right. It really, I got to tell you.
A jig.
The first time we heard it, I labeled it as more of a shanty than a song, but it's growing on me.
It has grown on us.
It really is. And it does really sum up the essence of Germany and Florida. Yeah.
To start off, I want to say, Dr. Drew, Adam Carolla, you guys are the best. Love your show.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have
All
to
right.
make this kind of quick because the phone is going to die.
Go ahead.
All right. So there's a pet shop owner, and he is selling ant colonies and ants. He's selling ants individually for $700 and whole colonies for $2,000. And kids in that area, they are just going absolutely crazy over these ants, and it's a really big fad.
Mm-hmm.
Individual
are they
ants.
specialty ants? I mean, are they...
No, just regular ants.
How much is per ant? How much?
$700.
Per ant.
Yes.
Boy, I could make a killing with
Is there a
just what's in my
philosophy
bathroom.
behind the ant? Is he selling something else? I mean...
No, just ants, and you get the little house to keep them in.
All right. Well,
It must be
no.
Germany.
This is the Uncle Milty ant farm thing, I think.
I don't know. Well, tell us about that. What is
okay.
that?
No.
I don't know what that
okay,
is.
here's Uncle Milton. Okay, here's the whole thing. First off, this is a horrible example of Germany or Florida. Some madman is selling an ant. She's not playing the game right. She's leaving something out.
Yeah.
Maybe what she's saying is someone has got hold of these vintage ant farms from way back in the day.
I see.
And they're reselling them for much more.
I see.
We got to go Germany. Christina's
14.
14, so.
We'll forgive her.
Oops. Yeah, she's. Christina.
Yes.
Are you done with the story, or is there any
No,
part of it you're withholding?
That's it.
Okay. Germany.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That was horrible. You're a horrible person. He's just selling ants for $700.
No.
If he was selling a philosophy behind the ant, sort of like a little magical story he concocted
She
about
misread
these
the
ants.
story. She misread the story.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Jena Malone is here tonight. The movie is The United States of Leland. It is opening in theaters on April 2nd in New York and Los Angeles, and then probably spreading throughout the country. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hey, everybody. It's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Ethan is coming in from Survivor, who's got his ass voted off, I think, last week. Jena Malone is here tonight from the United States of Leland, New York, and Los Angeles, April 2nd. Drew saw the trailer. Looks powerful. I saw it reviewed, I think, by Roper and Siskel or Ebert or Roper.
Yeah,
anyway.
what did they say? I haven't seen it.
I remember them giving a very favorable review, but it is at least 9 or 10 months back.
Oh, okay.
Let me say this before Ethan comes in here from Survivor, which is, I got this theory about, how he's a soccer player. And evidently, I don't know, professional soccer player. You know how these things work on these reality shows. A guy plays a little soccer, he's a pro soccer player, and if a chick stands next to a car at the auto show, she's a high fashion model. We get it all the time on our
Gild the
show.
Lily. Speaks
they
4
gild the
languages.
lily.
Well,
Right.
I went to Rome once.
Doesn't speak English. Yeah. We've had him on the show many times, but
that's awesome.
and we'll talk to Ethan about it when he gets here. But I think was a professional soccer player. Here's the point: gets his ass kicked by Boston Rob, the construction worker from Boston, and all these sort of ones that have to do with footwork and speed and agility and all that dexterity and all that kind of stuff. And you think, and last week got thrown off. This guy Rob kept knocking him off this. They were doing this log rolling. He was just spinning. This is nothing but soccer dribbling. You know what I mean? This is nothing but footwork on the thing, and it just quiet. Made me think two things. First off, soccer, not a real sport, and not getting the cream of the crop athletes. Secondly, you show me a guy, I don't care what he's doing for a living, but an a-hole from Boston who's got a sharp mouth, and this is the guy. This guy could beat up the guy who's the black belt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because he's angrier than the other guy is, or just because he is what he is.
Right.
This guy, it doesn't matter who you are. This guy's Boston Rob. You're a professional soccer player. He's going to out-footwork you on the log roll, knock
Boston
you into
Rob.
the thing, because he's Boston Rob.
I actually spent 2 days with Ethan once.
Oh, he did?
In Pittsburgh.
Log rolling?
He did not mention soccer once.
Oh, he didn't?
No, so that'll be interesting to see if...
But what if it's like a childhood thing? It's like sort of like they're like kind of pro or like the head of their high school.
No,
or...
that's not
I'm
kind of
telling
pro.
you,
that's high school soccer player.
I know, it's
I
true.
know.
But yeah, okay.
That's television pro.
No, television is his. He was going to be a professional baseball player until his career was cut short in the 8th grade. It's like...
We get that a lot.
If we get a lot of
Really?
going to be a pro ball player.
Yeah.
Everyone was going to be a pro ball player up until the point where they didn't get the scholarship coming out of high school.
We got a lot of, when we were doing the TV show Loveline, a lot of, Jill here in medical school dropped out just mid-residency for her...
to become a model.
And you talk to her and it's like... they go. I took a biology class in high school. And I thought about it for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. And see, in the celebrity world, you thinking you're going to do something is like some preordained thing. Well, then it is. It is written.
You did that.
Totally.
That's where you were
it's
headed
not that
until
he
this
was
all
going
happened
to
to you.
do it.
Yeah.
Had she not started blowing overweight Middle Eastern guys in Milan at age 15, she would have been one of the world's greatest pediatric surgeons, Well, she never got past the 9th grade, and he never played high school ball even.
Well, we'll
so I'm
see.
not sure how he could have played. I'm not talking about Ethan. I'm talking about all the actor guys who were going to play professional baseball, except for they never played in high school.
Right.
Really? And by the way,
that's going to be your story when the story
pirate
comes. Pirate astronaut.
Pirate astronaut. I was going to be.
No, not going to be. He was a pirate astronaut.
I would have been.
No, not would have been.
I am.
You are a pirate astronaut.
R.
Yes. RRR. See?
Yeah.
You got good.
Yeah.
No, he was a pirate astronaut, and then Man Show happened.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I had to drop out of the pirate astronaut.
Well, it's tough to let it go. You'd run your course.
I had the black patch over the space helmet, over just the one eye. I actually had to have the strap and widen so I could actually put my pirate patch and have a uniform made up for my parrot. Lucy?
Uh-huh.
You're 25?
Yep.
What's up?
Well, I was with this guy for about 6 months or so. The relationship was rocky, and I used to like knowing that I used to like getting my way with him, but I make him think that he got his way. I was a good girlfriend, whatever.
Whoa. Whatever that statement was made no sense to me. I used to think let him think he got his way, but I got my way because I made him believe I was a good girl.
Yeah,
That doesn't make any sense to me
Well, look, who cares? Let's just get through this call so I can get back to talking.
Oh, thanks.
Hurry.
Okay. Well, the thing is, we just recently broke up, and I'm just leading him on, and I've been a super bitch with him.
Well, wait a second.
Just out of spite, I put the cops on him.
The what?
I put the cops on him.
All right.
Are you,
on.
Lucy?
This is why I hate people like Lucy. How many times have I screamed about this?
Why? The question
all
is...
right, hold on a second. Now I'm getting going on another thing, which is this. Okay, I'm all full of rage tonight, but here's the whole thing. I call 911. I got to wait in line for an hour. Even though, by the way, and this is hypothetical because I've never in my 39 goddamn years called 911. Imagine made it to 39, haven't sued anybody, and haven't called 911 yet. But it's because a-holes are using the cops to screw with their neighbors, to screw with their exes. Oh, because there's a domestic dispute and they got to call them for the 5th time that month. When are we going to start penalizing the people that just sort of use the cops? You know, when the neighbor, I got the cops showing up at my house at a New Year's party at 9:30 in the evening because the neighbors thought it'd be a good idea. Like, look, you can't just use the, hey, I'm going to screw with you. I'll get a restraining order out against you. You know what I'm talking about? And how come, by the way, we can't start punishing these people?
We should charge them. All you do is charge them.
Yeah.
If you want to treat the cops like your own personal police force, pay them like your own personal police force.
Yes.
That's all.
Well, here's the deal. The cops show up at your house. The music's not too loud. Nothing's too rowdy. Nothing's out of hand. It's 9:45. It's New Year's. Now we're going to the person that made the call and saying that's going to be $286, please. Mm-hmm. You wasted a lot of taxpayer time and money there. Thank you.
Ambulances ask for
Or can we have just like in-betweeners to sort of navigate calls, to sort of like if it's just something that's kind of pending?
I've said this many times. Let's put those pussy parking enforcement wusses to do something other than writing everyone tickets. There's millions of them.
Or the rent-a-cops. We'll just sort of, hire them on the weekends or something.
Well, see, we'd have to pay them, though. I say get the parking enforcement guys to show up for the domestic. Tell them to turn the stereo down.
So basically, we need a better triage for the calls,
we need someone in between the guy who's stopping the North Hollywood bank robber. Look, here's what I want. The guys who are having a shootout with the North Hollywood bank robbers should be the same guy who's coming over to your house and tell you to turn the stereo down? No. We need someone in between who gets about half the money and has half the training.
All right. Lucy.
Yes.
Lucy, why are you behaving like a horrible person?
Okay, well, yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, I've done some horrible things, regardless if I put the cops or what on him. I've done.
Well, how do you put the cops on him? How does that work?
Well, I really can't. I guess I can talk about it, but I choose kind of not to right now. But I've done some really horrible things to him, and I feel no remorse for it. What's wrong with me?
Well, you're not a great person, but I'm guessing your parents made you into someone crappy, and then you don't have the brain power to pull yourself out of that crap mire that they put you in. But listen,
I get some sick satisfaction doing it. I mean, I think it's hilarious knowing that he's suffering. I mean, and it's not. Believe me, I grew up with a great family. I grew up diagnosed.
I'm sure they were a delight.
Yeah.
Oh well, I've had some. I've seen some things, but I mean, of course, I grew up with a good family.
No, Lucy. It doesn't go both. Lucy.
You know what the thing is? I like knowing.
No.
That
Hey, It doesn't go both ways, Lucy. You don't have a great family and a family that lets you see some things.
Yeah.
That doesn't. That's a horrible family that lets you see some things.
Yeah, and I mean, if you were being like
great.
emotionally false with him during the relationship, then maybe there's some like dishonesty in what you're doing right now. And how can you say that you're just like having, that you're really having fun?
She is showing
hurting someone.
She is. This is what a horrible person does and feels.
Oh, true.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the case that when people have glee at another person's distress and harm, that's the child pulling the putting the M80 up the cat, and pulling the feathers off the.
I don't know what it is. I mean,
it's something.
I grew up, in a
Lucy?
Catholic home.
All right,
listen.
let her talk. And by the way, Catholic home doesn't mean ass to anybody who has two brain cells to rub together. Please, you religious retards. Everyone in the joint is a big God-fearing Christian and Catholic. Are you kidding? You think there's any Jews or atheists in there? Please.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, okay. Religious home. By the way, when are we going to stop? When are we just going to start checking that off the list? How many times does Bill Clinton have to talk to his clergy, or Bobby Brown or Whitney Houston have to go to church before we just start writing it off as a joke? Really? He met with his spiritual advisors. Okay, shut up.
Well, Whitney Houston's a mess.
Well, but true.
Left treatment after 5 days. She needs at least 6 months.
She's a religious woman. She's deeply.
She was taken Israel by a religious
leader.
She's
a deeply religious woman, True. This should all work itself out.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Listen, here, let me just...
It's all going to work out.
A statement of fact.
It's going to work out.
If all we needed to do to treat the emotionally... how can I say this euphemistically? The emotionally
bankrupt
challenge, the addicts, is get them a spiritual leader. That's precisely what I would do with them. But that does not help.
How can you argue with Whitney making the pilgrimage back to the native land last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Look, obviously it's a joke. It's just everyone else is too big a pussy to talk about what a joke this religion has turned into. Thank you. All right, now, Lucy, let me ask you a couple questions. And, Drew, you be quiet. And, Lucy, you got to shut up, too, and just answer my questions. What kind of weird stuff did you see at home?
My uncles and my dad used to have Playboys lying around.
All right, that doesn't count.
And I would constantly hear my parents
having sex. All right, that screw you up a little bit.
And I would walk in on them, and I would be like, what's going on?
Okay, all right. But you were never struck or beaten or sexually abused?
No, God, no. My dad's always been that kind of protective guy who, if... All
right. And he's still with your mom?
Mm-hmm.
No, but this is...
And he's non-alcoholic or anything?
No. My parents, they've only drank when they go to, weddings. That's it, but they don't drink on...
But listen,
okay.
They go to... every day they go to a wedding.
Their daughter walks in on them having sex. That is... Follow that path.
All right. Oh, look, here's... I want to get back to what you told the cops this guy did. That's the part I want to know. Yes.
Well, let's just say I'm a very clumsy person, and I have a lot of bruises. I run into things. And he kind of pissed me off, so what I did was I called the cops and said he kind of manhandled me.
Right. They made a report.
He got arrested.
All right. Well, listen.
He got arrested, and
Lucy,
I called him, and I told him what was going to happen to him.
Lucy, here's the thing. First off, I pray to Christ you have no kids. Do you have any kids? Yeah. How many do you have?
One.
Okay. Please try not to do as horrible a job on the kid as your parents did on you. That's your goal. And number two, if you grew up in a great environment, your parents are together, everyone loved each other, and there was no abuse or anything, then knock it off. Stop acting like a horrible person.
Why am I like that? Why don't I show him
I don't know, but it's high time you stopped acting on it.
I genuinely want to stop. I really
then
don't
stop
want to be
it.
this way.
Then just stop it. Well,
let me ask you this.
Just smack me on the arm and say, hey, you know what, Lucy, stop it.
Well, that's the point, Lucy. Lucy, excellent point. And that means that you saw some more heinous things than you're admitting to.
Well, whatever.
And he
Get
needs
some
treatment.
therapy.
It needs treatment. You didn't see your dad go into rage and you weren't hiding in closets and that kind of thing?
No.
All right. Then get some therapy for yourself on behalf of your kid, for Christ's sake.
Well, what I do in front of my...
No.
Shut up.
There's something very much missing from her story.
There's something very much missing from the story, but look, everybody, if you got a problem and you want it to go away, then feel free to do something about it.
It's possible that Lucy, one of the other ways you get this way is, she gets involved with a gang at a young age and just never, really loses her capacity for empathy. But usually that's...
Also, don't you think it depends on how she was disciplined as a child? And that it's like...
Well, look, let's put it this way. There's certainly some bad eggs out there. Yeah. They're just... Sometimes it's nurture and sometimes it's nature. If what Lucy says is true, then it's nature. The point is she's not a great person. The good news is she'd like to stop being a bad person, and I'm telling her that it's going to take a little work.
Yep.
And if you have an impulse to do something, it's probably not a great idea. And I would like the cops to arrest the people that are doing this stuff. And these kind of situations where the wives call in. Jim Brown, the football player, his wife who's 30 years younger than he is, or 40 years or whatever, calls the cops screaming, he's beating me, he's going to kill me. And then goes to court a few months later, and she says, I was just trying to get attention. Now, look, either he talked to her and she changed her story, or she decided on, that it never happened.
Either case.
One of them's going to jail, in my opinion, because, look, if you just made the story up, and by the way, can we just have wives do that? Yeah, cops, the DA, attorneys, everyone showed up and did the whole thing, and then at the end it's like, well, I'm not going to press charges. I was just kidding. I was just trying to get some attention. Okay, fine. You're doing 14 months now. Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. Oh, wait a minute. You got something you want to say? That's how it should go.
Yep.
It's not somebody's going in. Either he beat the crap out of you, and he's going in, or you lied your ass off, and you're going in.
Mm-hmm.
What? Right? I mean,
I'm with you.
It's crazy.
Okay.
It's so sad because with domestic disputes, isn't it like 3 strikes and you're out, and your sort of kids like go away after that, and like it's just
you can
the weight of the situation
you can destroy
is so
somebody's
ridiculous.
life if you want.
All right, we'll go to break.
All right, I'm disgusted at all of yous, and we'll be back. Hey, everybody, it's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191.
We got to finish educating Jena here a little bit.
Ethan Zahn is coming in on Tuesday, by the way, from Survivor, my favorite show. Jena Malone here tonight from the United States of Leland. And quiet down, Drew. Opening on the 2nd of April, New York and L.A. Let's take some calls.
Just quickly, Jen.
All right.
just look at an old building from the 20s and just see if it wasn't transformed in the 70s, and just look at what happened to it. And then that was that decade.
Okay.
She doesn't know what you mean.
I missed out on quite a bit.
She doesn't know what you're saying.
I'll think of an example in the break. Okay.
Well, actually, no, I have a house that's built in 1973.
The cottage cheese
in
in the ceiling?
Oh, I have cottage cheese all over my walls, gold fixtures, porn den bathtubs.
Yeah.
There you go. That was the 70s.
Okay.
Horrible time. Amanda?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I love you guys, and I love Jena Malone. She's my favorite actress, so I have a question for her.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I wanted to know how you got into acting.
The long story or the short?
Medium.
I don't know. I was 9 years old, and I was living in Las Vegas with my mom. And I answered an ad in a newspaper because I was combing the newspaper because I was really unhappy in Las Vegas because I had just moved from Lake Tahoe, and it's sort of a crazy cultural shock. And so I wanted to like take this like painting class, and there was this seminar on acting. It was horrible.
You were 8? You were 8?
I was 9.
9 looking through the newspaper?
Hold on. Moving from Tahoe to
Las Vegas.
To Vegas is moving from a beautiful aquarium into an ashtray.
Yeah, totally. It was really gross, and it totally it was bad. But I went to this seminar, and it ended up being a complete fraud. But I asked a few questions. He got me in my first audition, which was for a student film. And
in
somehow,
Vegas?
No, actually, it was for an audition in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
And somehow I ended up booking that job, which was just like a student film through UCLA. And I convinced my mom after that to move to LA for about a year because she was sort of in a dead-end job anyways.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the opportunities must be more in Los
Vegas
Angeles.
jobs are not dead-end.
Well, actually, no. It's actually a booming culture because of all the new people going there and the new businesses and a lot of things are built.
You can work if you want to restock shrimp at the buffet or something. I mean,
there's a lot of
employment to have.
Yeah.
Dead end.
Yeah. Well, I thought. I mean, I didn't know anything.
But I like the idea that you picked up the paper.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's
kind of
you get
dorky.
age 9, pick up the newspaper.
But that's how it.
It's been my life dream to work with you. You inspired me to act and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. What are you doing? Are you acting in school?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I just got. Yeah.
Cool. That's like the main thing I would say to you is just, keep doing school things, keep reading a lot, and keep being just like you keep watching a lot of film because that's really where you learn the most, And
Donnie Darko, I love that movie. I actually got it. I guess that makes me weird, but
that's all right.
No.
All right, Amanda.
All right,
you
thanks.
keep on keeping on, baby doll. She's calling from Commerce. That's they got the poker. Keno Pan Society, Pan Poker Society.
That was fun, huh? Good times.
Yeah. And Commerce must be by Gardena.
Culture.
I
think culture when I think Commerce.
I'm telling you, I used to watch those commercials. The one thing that cable, and Jenna, you're so young, you don't remember all this stuff, but back when there was only 2 or 3 TV stations, we had lots of horrible local ads we used to have to watch over and over again, and the Pan Poker Society of Gardena welcomes you to Gardena. They would talk about all the different restaurants and how the dining was exquisite. And I watched that. I was like 10 years old, sitting home watching on a black and white TV, and it would say the Horseshoe Italian cuisine exquisite, and then they'd go let's see, the El Dorado. You're on the French Riviera. I always remember that. I was thinking, at age 10, I remember thinking, Gardena, French Riviera. No, you know you're not on the French. Now, there's a guy in a bad leisure suit who's smoking a Tiparillo and got a cup of nickels. You ain't on the French Riviera. It almost would scare you. You're on the French Riviera. Holy Christ, we are? Are we sure we're not in North Hollywood? You're over in Gardena? And by the way, Gardena, dump. Asshole.
Commerce?
Dump. But Gardena, dump your... No. I worked in a decorative box factory in Gardena for about 2 years. I built a factory over there.
You built the factory?
I built, I was a construction worker, and dump, Gardena, dump. You're on the French Riviera, really? Tell that to the broads who are working at the box factory with me. I'm not sure if they knew where they were.
Maybe it keeps them going during the days.
French Riviera has a lunch truck that pulls up and does the da-da-da-da-da. I would have thought that. I don't know that much about French culture. I didn't know. You get a chimichanga, huh? Really? French Riviera. A lot of squatty Guatemalan broads for the French Riviera. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. It's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Jena Malone is here tonight. The movie, The United States of Leland. Very well received, this movie. And Drew?
Yep.
That's right.
Saw the trailer.
And Drew can, some people pick out produce by just thumping the melon. Looking at the strawberries.
Yeah.
Drew's that way with the trailers in the movie.
Absolutely.
And this trailer?
Excellent.
Winner.
It's very interesting.
Absolutely. And like I said, I saw good reviews on it. But it's been making the rounds in the did it go to Cannes or Cannes or what are we calling it today?
It didn't go to France. No, it didn't go to Cannes, that festival over there. No, it's been around for a while. We went to Sundance last year, and we've just sort of been looking for an appropriate time for its release. And I think this weekend's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it.
Yeah, gotta go up against Walking Tall. And most people probably don't even. Most of the people that are going to see The Rock in Walking Tall have no idea there was an original Walking Tall.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say the vast majority of those people?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's go to the phones and speak to Susie, who's going to fill us in on that story that we got from Germany or Florida. The 14-year-old that called in about 45 minutes or an hour ago to tell us the Germany or Florida, and it turned out she was missing some pieces. Susie?
Hello?
What's up, baby doll?
So I researched that story, and there's a lot more to it, obviously.
Shocking. So what is it? So when we left off, a guy was charging $700 for an ant, and we kept saying, what's so special about the ants? And she said nothing.
Yeah, they're actually imported from Southeast Asia. And to sell them in Germany is legal, but to import them is illegal. So there's an illegal import, but once they're in the country, it's apparently legal to sell them.
Now, what is so special about these ants? Why are they fetching such a price?
Well, just because they're, an exotic species and they're becoming fetishized by these children, but they range from being 3-4 inches long to being barely visible. And
oh, well, I think the 3-4
it's huge fad now, but there's a reason why.
4-inch ant, I'd pay.
Yeah, by the way, 4-inch ant, that's already intriguing, right?
What's that?
Yeah, it's not 4 inches long. I hate to tell you. Whenever chicks tell me numbers, I always have to stop.
Well, distances or size.
Even if they tell you how old they are. You don't believe that either.
So where did you get the 4 inches
Let's
from?
think about women. Think about women in numbers. How old are you? Don't believe it. How much do you weigh? Don't believe it. How tall? And you think you can park that car into that space?
That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible.
And listen, women aren't good with numbers. Guys aren't good with other things.
What other things?
So 4 inches is
many things. No, you're about 3 and 3/8 there. Now you're moving into 4.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, 4 is the body of this.
Well, if you think of it as your thumb, as sort of the inch, sort of the marker.
Is that the way you look at it?
Yeah.
Never thought about
that. That's about right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Coming from the woman side.
Maybe it is somewhere around 4 inches. Susie?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to pay $700 for an ant. It better be, at least 2.5 inches, right?
It's got to make interesting ant hills.
How big are these ant farms?
Totally.
They can chickens roam around in them too? Or? No.
Okay. Thanks, Susie. All right. Here's my thing, too. The phone may have cut out on her. Here's the thing. I hate ants. I'm not a big ant fan.
I'm with you.
My feeling with the ant, too, is like everyone's like, an ant can lift 400 times its own body weight. I'm like, I'm still going to kill you with this sponge. You understand? You're not so hot, are you? You understand? I'm still killing you. You're going down the sink. I don't care if you lose 1,000 times. And until it gets into the millions when you actually can throw me. Like Adam Ant. Remember him? He grabbed people by the heel and flip them.
He needed his glasses.
Oh, he did. It was
Yeah.
a cartoon. Up and Adam. It was not Adam Ant, A-D-A-M. It's A-T-O-M. Yeah. Very
right.
strong cartoon ant. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that Michelle Williams is in this. Didn't we work with her at Dawson's Creek?
We did? Well, maybe we did.
She's in Dawson's Creek, so it might have happened.
How do you remember that, Drew?
We worked with her for a week. She was on the radio show with us a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. She was the dude, right? That was the dude? It was one of the dudes. Nope. One of the girls. Which girl was it?
The blonde one.
All right. The blonde one. I don't remember that.
She's wonderful in this film. She plays my sister, so.
Okay. And
the depressed one. She's always depressed.
Yeah, Don Cheadle is in this movie, too. He's a great actor.
Awesome.
Always puts in a good performance.
Totally.
Don Cheadle. All right, let's talk to Naomi, who's 17 on line 5. Oh, let's see what happened there. Naomi?
Sleeping.
No, I think we're not hearing anything.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay.
Trying to wake you up there, Naomi.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, baby doll?
Well, I have a question on, basically, I've been going out with this girl for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's been a secret because her mother is like a homophobe.
How old is she?
She's 16.
Mm-hmm.
Since she was 13, you've been seeing her? She was 13? That seems kind of odd.
Yeah. And by the way, moms and dads who are homophobes, you want to know how to get your kid to go homo? Just be a homophobe. Then it becomes payback time for mommy and daddy.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's how it works.
Well, your mom's okay with it, right, Naomi?
Not a coincidence.
Of course. She's totally okay with it. But her mom, she was crazy. When
You name your kid Naomi, you raise her in San Francisco, you got to be prepared for lesbo. And I think embrace that, too.
Yeah.
You could do worse.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Drew, let me ask you a question for a second. Hold on a second. She's bi. That's okay. Here's what I'm saying. And Drew's going to feel a little bit cornered here, but I can speak for Drew when I say you would rather your daughter be lesbian than be heterosexual and make the rounds.
Yeah.
You would, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And listen, I know, it sounds
BS male impulse.
Yeah, it sounds, and it sounds horrible, like, oh, you shouldn't care. But let's face it, parents care. They don't want their kid to be gay. And it ranges. It ranges from, I'll never talk to you again, to, all right, I'm over it. But I don't think anybody looks at their toddler and wants them to be gay.
I think that's totally false. I don't know.
Well, of course, it's totally true. You're just saying
You met parents that want
okay, first of all, I grew up with two lovers, two moms who were lovers.
Oh, my God. This is great.
And so,
but they didn't raise you to be gay.
No, but they raise you with a certain amount of acceptance and just respect for a person's choice, you know?
And when you said you were
Didn't
in Vegas,
say anything about respect. I just said parents don't
raise them with the
want
intent,
their kids to be gay. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything about it or even care if they are. Most parents, 99% of parents have the intention of having grandkids and that kind of stuff.
But you said your mom was in a dead-end job in Las Vegas.
They had broken up at that point. They were together for 10 years.
Wow. Where's your dad? Screw him.
Yeah, he was he was like running from the law for a little bit.
So Florida.
He had a lot of
Florida.
He owed a lot of child support. He actually was in Florida under an assumed name.
That's where they all go.
Absolutely.
No, we're not kidding.
We
know that's where he went.
Florida.
Wow.
Yes, when you're looking for listen, all authorities, law enforcement authorities that are listening, go to Florida. You want to find some deadbeat dads.
Listen, Jenny, you're an actress. People are predictable, extremely predictable.
It's true.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So, dad, horrible guy. Mom goes lesbian.
Why was she with a horrible guy? Her dad was horrible. Her dad must have been horrible.
My dad?
Her dad.
Oh,
your grandfather.
You know, my mom and my godmom both had sort of, kind of traumatic experiences
with horrible dads.
Yeah,
sexually and emotionally.
Horrible dads. That's
totally
what we're saying. And that's why she went for the horrible guy who split.
Well, I think she just wanted a child, actually. I was a product of a one-night stand.
Women who are raised by horrible men are attracted to horrible guys.
Yes. Your grandfather must have been an a-hole. Yeah?
He's a crazy fellow.
Yeah. Do not
stop being so nice for everybody. He's a bad guy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know too much about him to judge him, but
I know enough about him. Well, believe me, we know. You're laughing. We know your dad went to Florida, and we know your grandfather's a bad guy.
No doubt. That's
or
100%.
At least didn't do a great job with his daughter. This is how these things work. But you can't judge. Not judging. I'm just saying.
It's not a judgment. It's just
this is how you get to the bottom of these things.
Observational.
Yeah. All right. So now you essentially grew up. Well, from age what did the mom's partner essentially come into the picture?
Before I was born, they were
before
together.
you were born. So I was all. And now this is you're 19
What was your mom
now,
doing
right?
in Las Vegas?
She was working at a temp agency.
Doing what?
Mostly like secretarial work, secretary work.
Funny, the temp agencies all staff full-timers, you know what I mean? They should be required to have temps work their temp agency. Right. This is something sort of ironic
But it's sort of,
about it.
I mean, it becomes, you think it's a foot in the door. I think, like, young women are like, oh, it's a temp job. I can just go in and show them that I can really do a good job at it.
She was a temp.
Yeah, she was.
She didn't work at a temp agency.
No,
she
was
a
temp agency, right?
Oh, okay.
That's all she did in Vegas?
Yeah, she went to school there for a little bit.
How did she end up there from Tahoe?
That's where her family was from.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another bad.
That's
strike three. Strike three.
Yeah.
All right. So raised with the lesbian couple, but did people know? Did people make fun of you? Did they keep it secret?
I mean, I think it's like in the 90s, it's a different story. Sort of having two, gay moms. It's like much more like acceptable.
Oh yeah.
But when I was younger, like I don't even think I knew what it was. Do you know what I mean? Like
That's
I wasn't
good,
like.
Right? That's good.
Yeah, and it wasn't really an issue. I just knew that they loved each other and they were together, and there was a purpose for that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, it was awkward on Father's Day. Sort of like, who do I give this homemade card to, You sort of have to assign.
We believe that you're going to see, once they've studied this, that gay couples will probably do a better job than the average heterosexual parent child rearing. Would you say that's a safe statement?
Gays are generally smarter and a little more together, although a lot of them, well, I'm just going to speak freely here. Here's what you got. You got a situation. Heterosexual couples are a mess. Yeah. They break up all the time. I think gay couples are a little bit better. You do have probably more past abuse issues in gay couples. So now you got two people that have had less than great upbringing sometimes, but oftentimes they get therapy, straighten themselves out, and actually become better, more appropriate parents than the heterosexual couple that never really may have gotten a wholesale abuse, but never really
don't care,
never looked into getting any better. So it's an interesting thing, and they recycle. As I've said many times, I enjoy the gays for recycling. So, in general, I
think it's a pretty safe bet.
I think it's it's a hard job for anyone. It's like a really huge like shoes to fill for anyone, just to be that person in a young person's life.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I would not want to do it with another male.
No,
I'll
in general, I'll say
something.
2 women I'd rather have than 2 men.
Yeah.
I'd rather have 2 moms than 2 dads.
I did the Mr. Mom thing this weekend. Susan was away Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At the end of it, I thought, well, that's it. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I need help.
But
I
you
need
did
a woman. Yeah, but that's it. That was my limit, and I need a woman around. That's it.
Yeah, and then you don't need your partner Carl coming in, just giving the kid
I know
anal poppers and Jaeger shots.
I know Carl could do about he could do about 3 days like me, and that's about it.
That's right.
That's about
you need the 2 ladies.
I just think it's awesome if 2 people who love each other can like raise a child together regardless of sex. And sometimes if it's a man and a woman and they already have a lot of problems, they're going to raise a child with a lot of problems.
Yes.
And if it's 2 men or 2 women who have a lot of problems, it's the same thing. I don't think it has anything to do with, with their sex and whether they're gay or they're straight. I mean, I think that's completely ridiculous. But
but
look, all things being equal, you want the dude and the chick.
Yeah.
All things being equal, but we don't live in that. We don't live in a perfect society, and I'd much rather have 2 women raise my kid than a screwed up male and female just to say there was a penis and a vagina there. That's for damn sure. Look, I'd have to.
Everyone wants to say that. Of
no
course.
further than my own parents to realize f-ups when I see them. Naomi.
Yeah.
Well, you really spawned a conversation.
Really, what happened? Are we on the air?
4-inch ants, man.
Jenna, no, this is the next one. But Jenna dropped the 2 mom bomb.
Yeah.
And we had
to go down.
We had
that
to see it until it hit the canyon floor.
You saw it through.
Yes.
So Naomi, so your girlfriend's mom hates gay, and so what do you want to do, or what's your question for us?
I don't know whether or not I should just go on or just stay with it. And
you mean
wait
leave
till
her?
18. Yeah.
How miserable is this?
I mean, it's kind of miserable because I can't see her, and I can only talk to her like once every 6 months or whatever like that.
No,
those
No,
kind of
that's
situations.
not a.
That's not a relationship.
You guys don't go to the same school?
No.
How dare you?
That's a ridiculous
I
question.
mean, the only time we actually get to be together is if we have like mutual friends that we like plan these secret meetings together.
Wait, hold on a second. You live in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
Where does she live?
Not San
She lives in San Francisco.
Again, how dare you, Adam? How dare you?
Well, wait a second. Now, why you guys both live in San Francisco, but you don't go to the same school as one of you? Are you homeschooled or out of school, or what happened?
She goes to a private Catholic school,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in the public school.
And how far away does she live from you?
Pretty far away, actually, like 2-3 miles, maybe.
Hold on a second. That's the world's dumbest callers. What do you think? She lives in your basement? 2-3 miles. Well, that's insurmountable.
She's 17.
I guess if you could charter
a jet.
I think you could use one of those water planes. I think there's ones they use in like Alaska. Yeah, you probably drop that down in the bay, and then you never actually have to get it in the air. You guys should just scoot it along the bay for several hundred yards, and you'd be at her house. 2-3 miles. Wow.
That's at least Adam. It's at least a 15-minute walk. At least.
If you got rollerblades, you got a relationship at 2-3 miles.
They get those hills in San Francisco.
That's true.
It's like, come on.
Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a car?
No.
Okay.
Can you walk?
Can you walk?
No, I catch the bus.
You take the bus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's my question, I guess. You're not going to be going over to her house for... Drew's thinking...
No, I'm just saying, by the way, my question was
she ain't into it.
Well, my question was not, is she going to walk? Does she have legs? Could she capable of walking?
Well, Naomi's going to say that she can't go over to her house and that her mom picks her up right after school and keeps a very tight wrap on her and she won't let her out of her sight.
That's
I'm
exactly
guessing.
that's
Naomi? So why is it now she's 16 or 17?
She's 16.
She's in the 10th grade?
No, she's in the 11th grade.
She's in the 11th grade. Does she have a car?
No, she doesn't have a car.
And neither.
This is San Francisco. Come on. I mean, it's a city. You have public transportation.
Can she come to your house, or can you guys meet somewhere after school?
Uh-huh. We can.
Oh,
Why don't you?
Right. Well, that settles everything.
Why don't you?
Huh?
Why don't you do that?
Well, I don't know.
Right.
It's because...
Naomi, now I'm on to something else.
Yeah, your friend's not into it.
She ain't into it.
Yeah, your friend's done.
She's not into you.
She either mom has sufficiently indoctrinated her or pulled her back, or there was an acting out that maybe she's not even gay. Who knows? But whatever it is, she's out. She's out.
Yeah, because
if
when
she was in love, she'd be find a way.
When you're in the 11th grade and you're in love, you will find a way.
Yeah.
You sneak out your room at night. I don't care if your parents are the Gestapo.
Yeah.
You get out, you make it happen.
That's why kids are sent away when they keep doing these things, because they
Naomi,
keep
she's not into you anymore.
She's not?
No. It's over.
But maybe you guys need some time to sort of if you've been in this relationship for 3 years, then I think it's a really good thing that you guys have a little separation. You're, it's the end of high school. You're going to be going out into the world.
She needs the truth. She ain't into you, Naomi.
Okay.
Well, you know that, don't you, on some level?
Well, I don't know.
Well, when's the last time you guys were together?
Or even talked?
About a week ago.
You spoke a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
And when's the last time you were physically together?
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's a lifetime, by the way, when you're in the 11th grade. Yeah. It's over, baby doll.
Okay.
Don't you think?
All right.
Well, why isn't she's not making effort to see you, is she?
Well, she's trying to, but her mom just got her at a lockdown or something,
No. Listen, not or something. Because she would be telling you every little detail of what the something was.
She got a cell phone, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She should be calling you 5 times a day.
Why is she calling you on your phone?
Yeah.
Well, she does, but, I just can't call her.
You haven't talked to her for a week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Naomi is a little bit thick.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Please, haven't seen her in 3 weeks. And by the way, that 3 weeks could easily be 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. She lives a couple miles away. They're not seeing each other. They can't talk. It's over. She ain't into you. Yeah. That's fine. It happens. Happens all the time. You got to know it. And people are not going to send over a declaration that they're breaking up with you. They'll take the path of least resistance. I mean, it's much easier, and we've all been on the winning end and the losing end of this, to not sit down with the person, look them in the eye, and explain to them why you can't see them again.
Particularly not in 11th grade.
Yes, and if you ain't going to the same school, it's real easy. All you got to do is not return a couple of phone calls and then say, Mom said... And that's about it.
I would just hope, because if they've been together since they were 13, it obviously started in some sort of friendship.
According to Naomi, but
and that it's really easy to be attracted to your friends, and it's sort of maybe progressed to something else, and one was more into it than the other. And I just hope that they can retain at least a friendship. No,
not going to happen.
Well,
but women can do that though. You're thinking like a man.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if Naomi and her try to be friends at this point, Naomi's going to start
not at this point, but you need some time.
Yeah, down the road. Although you'll probably find, like we all, and Jena, you will soon too, that a lot of the people you hung out with in high school with is mainly because they sat next to you, and you find not quite as much in common with these folks as you thought. My mom brought over. My mom hangs on to everybody I knew when I was 8.
Oh, no.
And, it's always like, hey, so-and-so's back in town. They got to, and I'm like, I saw him. I was in the 3rd grade. I haven't seen him. Hey, they're great. They want to see you. We're coming over. It's always like, I never have the heart to say anything. And there's nothing wrong with the people. It's just, I haven't seen them in 30 years. It's always, but it's like, there's this thing that, well, because you knew them, here's why you're friends with people. First off, it's a cosmic crapshoot that your neighbor ends up being your best friend coincidentally. Oh, my best friend! I never know. That's the closest person to you. Your best friend's in your high school. Your best friend. You marry your sweetheart from high school. I'm sorry to say, but it's all about proximity. Doesn't mean they can't be good people, but later on in life, when you get some wheels and you get out on your own and you do a little traveling, then you really find your friends. Because it's not about proximity anymore.
Yeah,
yes?
but I have one friend that I've retained from high school, and I went to high school in New York,
right.
And I only went to 1 year of high school. Then I moved to L.A., and now I'm in Tahoe, and so. But we still maintain our friendship, and we're actually still quite good friends.
And
so
you will,
if anything, it strengthens it if you are going to retain the friendship.
10% of those people are your actual will make it into adulthood. 1 out of 10 of those guys is going. 9 out of 10 are going the way of the dodo, Drew. The Way of the Dodo, which has gone the way of the dodo. That's saying.
Coincidentally.
The saying, the way of the dodo, has gone the way of the dodo. All right. Jena Malone here tonight. Do you agree, Engineer Chris? Of course. You never knew about the way of the dodo, did you? I will show you the way of the dodo.
He doesn't know what a dodo is.
He doesn't know what a dodo is.
What's
that's
the dodo,
my point.
Chris?
There's no greater argument for
the way of the dodo.
Having
gone the way of the dodo.
Chris, you know what a dodo is?
Get that mic on.
Extinct bird.
No, it's an extinct bird.
No, I don't.
Flightless bird, as I recall.
It's extinct flightless bird.
Yes.
All right.
Referenced in, I believe, in the Master and Commander.
Possibly, yes, it was.
Maybe I'll use it sometime.
We'll be right back.
Chris was too busy beating off to the Matrix 3 to watch Master and Commander. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Jena Malone in here tonight. She has got herself a little movie out, or it's going to be out in a couple of days, called The United States of Leland, and it's heavy, but it's got a great cast in it, and Cheadle, Ryan Gosling, and Chris Klein is somewhat underrated, I think, because he's done a handful of like these teen movies and stuff, but he's really good. Like
An Election. I thought he was really, really wonderful.
Yeah, he was great in Election. Thank you, Anderson. Election was a great movie. I don't know why. It was just really good. I don't know if Drew's seen it or not.
But I can see,
really
it's one of those I can see renting.
Just good, and if you try to tell people why it was good or even explain it, it doesn't sound like much, and you kind of go, sounds boring, or slice of life, no thanks. But great performances, slice of life, very compelling. As soon as it starts, you're drawn in.
Totally. I mean,
it's
like set in a high school, and there's a lot of truth in it. It's quite humorous, like life is. There's so I just love to see when like young people are actually kind of portrayed accurately, because usually they just fill you with a bunch of BS, and just I'm like, I don't even know these people, and they're supposed to be portraying my age and my circumstances that I've gone through. And
well, it was nice in Election that Chris Klein, who was the sort of the jock, was nice. And as a former jock who hung around with the football a-holes most of the time, we never picked on anybody. Picked on each other. Wasn't like we'd go out on geek patrol or something. They didn't even. Here's the whole thing about the cool football guys. They didn't even talk to the nerdy people. Not because they were snobs. Like, they didn't know them. They were trying to get laid and trying to get drunk.
Well, not only that, you've got to realize that the football guys are just as self-conscious and uncomfortable as the nerds, just a different form.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Maybe.
Most of them.
Yeah, most of them. They just didn't bother. It wasn't like you hated smart people because they were smaller and smarter. I've never seen a high school movie that had jocks that weren't cruel to the underlings.
Please.
And I like the idea that Chris Klein was a jock who didn't do it. What?
Your buddy Ray must have been cruel to everybody.
No.
Everybody.
Ray,
if he needed something,
Ray
he'd go
was
take
abusive to. He was a Robin Hood of abuse. He would if someone was was
the
weak,
rescue,
he would leave him alone. If someone thought they were strong, that would rile him, and he would go after them. And then me, Stephanie.
Hi.
You're 17.
Yeah. My first question is for Jena.
Yeah.
You were in Life as a House, right?
I was, yeah.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite movies, by the way. And I just wanted to know, first of all, how is it working with Hayden Christensen? I think he's one of the best-looking guys.
He's dreamy.
Ever. And I just wanted to know what it was like working with him and, kissing him and stuff.
How can you name Hayden Christensen and be ugly, by the way?
It's a solid name.
It's a very hot dude name.
Totally.
Hayden Christensen.
Dreamy.
Just think of that.
It was really, he's a really down-to-earth, really, awesome guy. He was sort of coming in, surrounding all this Star Wars clout around him, and I had really it didn't affect him at all, But he was really hardworking, We had, the majority of the scenes that I had was with him, and I just remember it was, kind of a joy coming to set, because he was, overly on top of it, and just, giving 120%, and, and it was fun. We had a shower scene together, so it was kind of awkward.
What was that like?
It was strange. You're in a sound studio that's got this false bathroom that's got a movable third wall, and you're there with basically these nude-colored underwear and stickers on your nipples, and you're standing in front of, like a room of, 20 big guys moving equipment, and you're trying to have a very intimate scene, and it's just awkward.
Is the shower hot water?
It was hot in the beginning, and then they ran out of hot water, and it was cold for the rest of the time.
God.
Yeah, and it was not so good.
The pasty, the pasty thing is a strange sort of ritual of this culture. I know it's maybe a necessary evil, but it is really strange. I've actually done things that involved pasties myself, not being on the winning end of the pasties, but essentially take Band-Aids and stick them over the woman's nipples. Those sort of large square Band-Aids.
Well, I mean, I guess it's, for me, it was more of like a comfort issue. I had to have my back bare, and I didn't want to have like duct tape on my chest, so I just like put these things on. But it's really like, when you're at that point, it really doesn't matter whether you see your nipples or not. It's
that's the point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go for the pasty myself. But
if you're like a 17-year-old girl, I understand it, but like, I don't know.
No, I mean, look, I would go for it too, but I'm just saying it's a strange ritual that we see fit to. You're naked.
It's an arbitrary ritual. It seems like an arbitrary thing. But
yes.
There you go. It is.
All right.
It is
Can't
what it
see
is.
the nipples. All right. Who the hell are we talking to? Oh, Stephanie.
Well, I have a little problem.
Yes.
Like, I'm 17, and I already have, like, D-size, like, cup broad breasts. Yeah. And they're really big, and, like, I'm pretty normal weight, I'd say I'm pretty thin, I guess, and, like, it's kind of just out of proportion. And I'm, like, really, really self-conscious about, like, the way I look, because I feel like it brings, like, too much attention. And
how much? Yeah, how tall? What is your dimensions, by the way? How tall are you?
Well, like, I'm 5'2", and I wear about, like, pant size, like, 5 or 7.
Aha! I don't know what that is. What size culotte size do you wear?
No,
now, how much do you weigh?
Oh, I weigh, like, 125.
All right.
It sounds perfectly normal. I mean, the strange thing about breasts is that for young girls, they're always an issue. Like, I've grown up with absolutely none, and I've always felt awkward and strange. And I know girls that have huge breasts, and they feel awkward and strange. So it's like this thing that you can never find the middle ground because it's kind of forced upon by others' opinions of your body. So, I don't know. I just think, like, you just kind of have to, I don't know, accept it. Like, find the bras that you feel comfortable in. Like, find the clothes you feel comfortable in, and just rock it, because, like, in 10 years, you're going to be totally stoked.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, but,
maybe
like...
3.
She doesn't believe you.
Well, look, hold on a second. I'm glad you bring this point up, because this is another one of those things. Women with very small breasts complain, and women with large breasts complain, and
all the way between.
Totally.
And all the way
very,
between.
very rare to have women that are satisfied with their
Right.
body.
I'm just saying it. You're trying to explain this to an alien.
Yeah.
Well, the people, it's like saying, well, guys with huge penises complain, and guys with small penises complain. No. Here's how it works with guys. Guys with small penis complain. Guys with medium penis complain marginally less. The guys with the huge penis do no complaining. Their penis is
They
out.
gloat.
It's actually out. It's out. They're at eulogies. It's out. You understand? It's out at christenings, at bar mitzvahs.
No.
Yes, funerals.
It's brought out.
It's brought out. Excuse brought out. This is why women you can't figure them out. Guys, you can figure out. Small penis complain. Big penis shut your hole. It's and if his mouth is moving about his penis, he's bragging about the size of it. Women can feel self-conscious about anything, and I keep trying to explain this to every woman who calls who says, oh, I'm too big, or the woman who calls who says, I'm too small, I want to get them enlarged. Guys don't even, women obsess more about it than guys do. Now here, let me say this. And I like a big set of cans. That's me. That's who I am. I believe it makes me. It's because I'm more heterosexual than Drew. Though, ironically, Drew very passionate man, exquisite. You're looking at Drew. You're looking at a passionate man, exquisitely. He's heaping with passion. Heaping. All right.
It's oozing.
Oozes. Oh yes. Runs right down his leg. All right. His sock absorbs his passion. Okay. Now here's what
that being said.
Jen actually looked at your sock.
I did.
See if it was laden with passion. You can wring the passion out of that sock. And he dresses to the left, so
be the left sock with your hamper.
All right. Here's all I'm saying. Women say that it is men that have foisted this breast obsession upon them. It's not guys at all, because the thing is I know tons of heterosexual guys. They can't agree on what size boobs they like. Right. They don't like big boobs.
They just like boobs in general.
They like boobs in general. They don't like the huge ones.
Yeah.
I'm the only guy who likes that. And by the way, you know, because when you're the only guy in the room who's going, hey, I'm into this, you know that everyone else isn't into it. Guys don't. Drew doesn't like the big boobs.
Bouncy.
Not his thing. Passionate man. Focuses on the vagina. Not a boob man. He's that passionate. Point is it is not guys who says we need the huge jumbo can, implants and the big D cups and all the triple Ds and all that. Guys, look at all the supermodels, all the guys that.
That's what I was going to say. Like, what magazines do you read? Like, do you read a lot of fashion Oh, sorry.
She hung up. But yeah, look. Well, she has the big ones. But what I'm saying is all the guys that are on everyone's sort of hot list, whoever the, I don't know, Christina Aguilera, whoever it is. Whoever the models are, whoever the pop sensations are, they're usually modestly chest or intermediate.
And what women complain about when they have large breasts is that the guy's eyes stay on them.
Yes.
And that's something they can't help. It's not like they're willfully trying to look down, not look at your eyes. They just their eyes are sort of drawn down.
Yes.
And then the other thing, but the more significant thing which they complain about more, is that other women shun them. That they're shunned by women who somehow are threatened by them, or belittle them and make them feel like it's mostly other women that really make things uncomfortable.
Here's the bottom line, and I've explained this, and again, no one believes me, but guys, especially in high school and beyond, are visually oriented, and there's a lot of guys that like a beautiful set of eyes and a beautiful face and a beautiful ass, and somehow those guys are noble, and the guys who like a nice set of boobs, well, something's wrong with them. Well, look, neither one of them has anything to do with the person's personality or what's inside or their aura, their spirit, nothing. Guys are based. Now, if you see a very classically beautiful woman who's slender and small-chested, and a guy's interested in her, well, he's only interested in her because she has beautiful eyes and a clef in her chin, I mean, it's all a physical attraction.
And we've done some functional MRI studies came out last week that showed that men, not women, men's amygdalas light up, which is a monitoring unit for novelty. The amygdala lights up and throws information back to the hypothalamus, causing hunger, sexual hunger, drive.
Yeah.
Women do not. They get arousal, but not the drive that men get from visual cues.
All right. All I'm saying is girls, please, small-chested, large-chested, just get over yourself and move forward. Guys will be a certain section of guys will be interested in you. A certain won't. A certain will notice your chest. A certain won't care.
Yeah, your body's perfect for what you have and like what you are, and that's awesome. And if you are comfortable with your body, that's even more sexier and awesome.
That's right. We don't care about that, but yes, it works. It sells magazines. Guys don't care. We'd like women who had low self-esteem actually and hot bodies rather than women that had bad bodies and felt good about that. Yes, Drew? Easier pickings.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yes.
That's gross.
That's
true.
That's the truth.
That's so gross.
That's true. We don't care about how you feel about yourself. And by the way, we don't care if you feel sexy. We'll decide whether you're hot or not. All this BS where they go, hey, if you feel, it's always these stupid supermodels that are talking to these fat chicks in the audience, go, if you feel sexy, then you're sexy. Well, maybe. Why don't you just feel like you're the president or the ambassador 7 foot tall? Guys will tell you whether you're sexy.
Yeah, but once all the clothes and the makeup come off and they're still not comfortable in their own skins, then what's sort of sexy or appealing about that when they're sort of awkward and
well, they're hot. They're hot.
I see.
This is how guys work. Now you hang out with some BS, actor artist guys who don't admit to this, but this is the truth. This is the God's honest. It's all about physicality. Hey, it's great if you got a healthy self-esteem. I don't want some chick burning herself with cigarette butts because she feels bad about herself. But really, this whole supermodel thing where super smoking chicks tell doggy chicks that you can be sexy too, just feel sexy, ridiculous. No. It's not going to work.
Yeah, but they're talking about feeling sexy for themselves, and you're talking about being sexy for you, for the exterior male. And I think it needs to start from themselves before they can even approach you. So,
who cares what they think about themselves, though? I mean, they don't. It's not going to help. They want to attract men. That's why they want to be sexy. I know there's that they do it for themselves, but they only do it for themselves so they can get guys. No one cares about how you feel about you. Look, you don't need to feel sexy for yourself. Like, I'll beat off anyway. don't care what I look like. I know I'm a mess. Still going at myself. That much harder, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Aggressive.
Aggressive. Street style. Oh, yes.
Angry.
Angry. A vengeful whack.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm a mess. No problem. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. Drew's a passionate man. He can't understand my passion for myself.
Well, you're a mess, so let's face it.
I'm a mess. That's right. Jena Malone here. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. It's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Jena Malone here tonight. United States of Leland. Name for a movie. Coming out in New York and Los Angeles, April 2nd.
That's right.
Drew was telling me off the air that somebody called him at home and blah, blah, and the cha-cha. And he was PO'd about it. And I received a call from one of my friends, family man, a couple of kids. Yeah, got the time stamp on the phone message machine. Sunday morning. I called at 8:23. And here's the guy, like, well, first off, see, once people have kids, they just start getting up at 7 in the morning on a Sunday, and then it's like, well, I've been up for an hour and 15 minutes, time to get on the blower. Call my single Hollywood friend, Adam, over here with the no kids, on a Sunday, by the way, Sunday, 8:23, and then I like the bewildered one. Well, I thought I was going to catch you before you headed out, but I guess you're not around, so I'll try to catch you later. Yeah, that's what I do. On Sunday, I got a goddamn paper route? Really? It's 8:23. It's Sunday. Really? I get up at 9:30 on Wednesday. You know, it's Sunday. I might go till noon. Please. It's amazing. I find that amazing. I'm not angry. I don't pick up the phone. You know,
amazing.
It doesn't ring. I just like the part where it's. I guess you're asleep. You're not picking up. It's like I guess you hit it.
People just live in their own worlds. You know?
Yeah,
that is true. Let's recoup our Germany or Florida attempts.
All right. There's like
try again.
My dad who goes to bed at 7:00 at night. You know, it's like, hey, want to get together for dinner? Yeah. What time? 4:30, 4:45. That's still light. Yeah, that's when I eat dinner. Well, you go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. You got to eat dinner at 4.
Still light at 8 o'clock some parts of the year.
Jay?
Yeah.
All right, we are going to recoup our... and by the way, our Germany or Florida goes down as a victory for us. We did get Germany.
You got
victory,
it.
And on the heels of that, we predicted that Jenna's dad was living in Florida.
Yeah, that was... Well, he's not living in Florida anymore.
He went there as the deadbeat dad.
Through Florida.
As a deadbeat
he
dad.
hid in Florida.
Yes, they all go there.
That's where the deadbeat dads
Particularly the
go.
ones from the Midwest. All the Midwest deadbeat dads, Florida.
That's wonderful.
Jay?
And they drive cars. Strangely, they're car drivers then.
They drive. They work on fishing boats.
Yeah.
He sold cars.
Cars?
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect. It's a great job for a sociopath. Go ahead, Jay.
All right. This is a Germany or Florida that you especially are going to appreciate, Adam.
All right. Well, let's hear the theme song first, Anderson. Come on.
Things are sick and twisted from too much sun and Nazis. Sex with and death fetishes. Both of them have got these. Guaranteed not to bore ya. Germany or Florida.
All right.
Germany or Florida.
David Allen Greer's version.
Florida.
All right.
I'm going to get my radio station to cut a song for you guys, and I'll send it out with some smoked almonds.
Whatever.
Thank you.
All right.
You'll be a hit.
Go ahead, buddy.
You're going to really appreciate this one, Adam, because you've made a similar argument.
All right.
Violinists in an orchestra are suing the rest of the orchestra because they play more notes than anyone else for a given song, but they get paid the same per hour.
Right.
So
This is my argument for this show. I should get paid more than Drew. I understand that.
Notes.
Yep,
Right.
exactly the same situation.
Well, you think about it. They get paid the same as the guy who plays the kettle drum?
Yeah.
Or the triangle?
Or the triangle?
Same.
Or the glockenspiel?
All right, so is that Germany or Florida?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to withdraw because I know the answer to this.
Really?
Yes.
You heard
Florida.
I think you should get credit when you
when
heard
I
the
know?
story. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
What's your guess first?
Oh, please. You can't do it that way. Go ahead.
Florida.
Florida.
All right. I thought it was Germany.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like Florida, does it?
It's suing. Sounds like
Yeah, suing, but in the orchestra, they don't know what a violin is.
Yeah,
in
but
Florida,
if they
call it
did,
a fiddle
they'd be dads and be complaining. So
no, it's got to be Germany. Jay?
Yeah?
What is it?
All right, Adam. It's Germany.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not too
the
many.
Symphony. I can't believe you're going Florida on the Symphony.
Not a lot of orchestras in Florida there, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you there are more than you guys know.
Yeah. But they play
don't
like
count.
they play like the wash tub and stuff like
No,
that.
I bet. Listen, Miami, Orlando,
They play the
Jacksonville,
tub.
I'm sure they all
play the tub thumpers. Hey Jay.
Yo.
Thanks. We're gonna send you out a windbreaker.
Hey, cool. I'll put it on right now. Yeah.
All right. Yes.
All right.
We're gonna send you an imaginary windbreaker.
See, Adam, did you know that was the answer or not?
I think I did. Yeah.
All right. See, because normally I just go with you.
I know.
And if you're not going to give an answer, I'm going to get it wrong.
Well, no, but it was funny, and no disrespect to Jenna, but she's a rookie to the Germany or Florida game, and is still batting 500.
Yeah,
got to win.
Yeah.
Got one win under her belt. 50-50. But here's my point. I don't know. I hear Symphony. I just think I think Germany. But then the suing part.
Yeah. But I would think in Germany it's more like considered like sort of like this classical art form that people can't really mess with, so they wouldn't be like allowed to be like, oh, well, I should get more. There's not as, like
There's
it's
all different kinds of forms of symphonies. And all symphonies.
All right. Well,
there's
listen,
lots of operas and
Right,
opera
totally.
orchestras. And
You break it down any way you want. You were wrong. Dead wrong.
Yeah, dead
bro.
wrong.
Just
Absolutely.
wrong.
Dead beat wrong.
All right. We need to take a break.
Yes. That's it. We're done.
No, we're not. No, we're coming back. You idiot. After this. Well, there you have it. A very fascinating show with Jena Malone. You can see the movie, The United States of Leland, which is coming out in just a couple of days on April 2nd, New York and Los Angeles.
Friday.
And then Friday.
Yeah.
Is that just coming? Yeah. All right. Really? It's Friday?
Yeah.
What the hell are we? We're the 28th.
It's Friday.
28th.
No. How many days we got? 31 on this thing? Oh, really?
Thursday's the 1st. Friday's the 2nd.
Nice.
Good times.
Yeah. All right, so go see that movie. And Jenna, always a delight. Come
Yes,
back
thank you so
anytime.
much.
Our pleasure. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for Loveline is Ann Ingold. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.